I revealed my sister's texts to me after she demanded I host Thanksgiving, and things didn't go well for her when the truth came out. I moved out of my rental apartment on November 3rd into my very first house. I'm 34 and have been renting up until now, so to say I was proud of my house is an understatement. I work full time, and it's usually more like 50 hours a week, if not more, so unpacking has been slow. There was a week of takeout before I even started on setting up my kitchen. I had spent the last few years in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment with my elderly cat. I loved having my own space, my own rules and routines, so even though it was a small rental, it was my home. But I made the mistake of agreeing to babysit my sister's 4 kids once, not at her house, but in my apartment. I regretted it instantly. Fruit punch was spilled on the pale gray love seat and the beige carpet. Sharpie murals were drawn on my hallway wall. Barbie clothes were flushed down the toilet, and my cat was chased so aggressively that she hid in my closet for 3 days after. My nieces and nephews have no respect for my belongings, my home, my cat, or my rules, but I have to blame my sister for that more than them. The oldest is only 10, and my sister mostly ignores them. I've rarely heard her take them to task or even explain, hey, there's a rule about this, and this is why you don't act this way. They just kind of run wild. So when I finally bought my house, I promised myself 2 things. My house was my and my cat's safe and peaceful place, and having my sister's kids come to visit was out of the question. A week after moving in, on a Saturday, I drove to my parents' house to visit and to talk to my mom about what I should contribute for Thanksgiving. For the last few years, I'd always made a couple of side dishes and brought them with me. I liked to take some of the stress off my mom, and plus I do enjoy cooking when I can find the time. But when I walked into the kitchen, I found that Kim was also there. Mom and Kim exchanged these glances, and a huge, smug smile was planted on Kim's face. We said our hellos, and before long I asked, what should I bring for Thanksgiving? Oh, you don't need to bring anything, Mom said. Sounding unsure or uneasy, I couldn't quite figure it out. My stomach sank a little. Why not? Kim grinned. Because you're hosting this year. I laughed in sheer surprise. No, I'm not. Well, yes, you are, Mom said gently, her hand going to her wine glass. It was 3 in the afternoon, and no judgment, but it was unusual for my mom to be having wine in the day. Mom looked at me kind of pleadingly. You have the space now, Grace, and it would be a nice housewarming. I moved in 7 days ago, I reminded them. Half my furniture is still in the garage. I don't even know where my bowls are, and most of my utensils are missing. Kim waved a hand dismissively. You have plenty of time. It's 3 weeks away. Exactly, I agreed. Only 3 weeks away. Mom sighed. Sweetheart, I hosted for 38 years. I'm getting older. I want to rest this time. That's fine, I said. Then Kim can host. Her house is a heck of a lot bigger than mine, and she's been living in it for years. Kim scoffed. Grace, seriously, I can't cook an entire Thanksgiving meal with 4 kids in the house. Dan will be home, won't he? I asked. I'm not abandoning my children just to baste a turkey. I stared at her. You're not abandoning your kids to have their dad take care of them for a few hours while you cook. Mom and I can bring dishes to help, and we can help with the serving. Kim folded her arms. It's better if you host. You don't have kids, so you have the most time. Heat flared in my chest. Don't weaponize the fact that I don't have kids. You don't have a job that takes you out of your house well over 40 hours a week. I know you work as a mom, but I work too. A lot of hours. I'm not weaponizing anything, she insisted. But you have fewer obligations. Thanksgiving is literally the only day of the year that I get to relax. I tried not to give her a death glare and managed to keep it to a frown. That's just BS. You get babysitters all the time, and the last time I babysat your kids, They stained my carpet, wrote on the walls in permanent marker, and tormented my cat. She exploded. They're kids, Grace. That's just what kids do. No, I said firmly. I don't think that's what all kids do, and I don't even think that's what your kids would do if you hadn't been ignoring them instead of guiding them. Mom looked distressed and raised her hands between us. Now wait a minute. Let's all calm down. But I was past calm. I'm not hosting, I said clearly. My house isn't ready, I'm still unpacking, and I will not watch it get destroyed. Kim rolled her eyes. Wow, ungrateful much? I frowned again. Ungrateful for what? I asked. There are people who would kill to have this opportunity to host their families, she shouted. Ah, everyone but you, I guess, I said. You've never hosted, even though your house makes the most sense. Kim's face turned red. Actually red. Fine, so what then? We just don't have Thanksgiving? Of course we can, I replied. We could order takeout. We could just celebrate separately this year, so no one's stressed. Her jaw dropped, like I'd proposed that we burn the American flag and cancel turkeys forever. You're selfish, she hissed. I bend over backwards for my family, and you don't bend, I interrupted. You drop your kids off, emotionally and physically, while everyone else absorbs the chaos. She picked up her purse and stormed out, but not before shouting, I hope you're happy ruining the holidays. Mom sighed and sipped her wine. Dad kept hiding in the den like usual. I stood there, my whole body shaking with adrenaline. Mom, I said, as quiet and calm as I could, I love you. I'll be settled in enough to make a small meal and bring it over for you and Dad, but I can't host everyone at my house, and I won't cook all the dishes for an entire Thanksgiving for 14 people. She nodded slowly, not necessarily agreeing, but accepting. I left feeling oddly free. Later that night, Kim started texting. So you're really doing this? You're seriously ruining Thanksgiving because you're worried about your stupid house? And then, it's just stuff, Grace. Try caring about people more than furniture. And then, this is why you're alone. I inhaled sharply. That one stung, but I refused to reply. And then, grow up and host Thanksgiving like a normal adult. She was using caps now, getting angrier. Next came, it's your turn. Deal with it. I set my phone down. She didn't stop. The next morning came this masterpiece. People without kids literally exist to help people with kids. That's how family works. And then, honestly, you should be thanking me for letting your house be the Thanksgiving spot. It means we trust you. You're welcome. I still didn't reply. Then she escalated to nuclear-level guilt. If Mom dies soon, you're going to regret being such a heartless brat. Imagine this being her last Thanksgiving and you ruin it. And lastly, my personal favorite. Fine. If you don't host, I'm telling the whole family what a selfish, bitter, cat-obsessed failure you are. I didn't reply to any of them. I knew she was escalating because I wasn't replying, but I was honestly curious to see how far she would go. That night my phone buzzed 3 times with screenshot texts from my cousin. Have you seen Facebook? Kim had posted publicly a long dramatic rant about how some people are more about material objects than family traditions, and that child-free adults owe support to parents who are doing the real hard work. She named me, tagged me, and everyone on her friends list was seeing it and reacting to it. My face got hot. My hands shook. My heart told me to take the high road, but my grandmother's voice, God bless her blunt Irish soul, whispered in my head, sometimes, dear, the high road is just a longer walk towards the same smack in the face. So, I posted screenshots of every single message Kim had sent me. No commentary, no insults, just the truth. Within minutes, my notifications started pinging. Cousins, aunts, friends. One cousin tagged her and called her entitled and manipulative. A few asked how my carpets were. One aunt privately messaged me to admit that she had banned Kim's kids from her house after they smeared peanut butter into her recliner. For the first time, I didn't feel like the overly sensitive sister. I felt seen. And that's when Kim started calling, and then voice noting. The first voice note was shriek-whispered rage. "You had no right posting that. You made me look insane." And the next, "Take it down now, or I swear you will regret it." And then a text. "I'm serious, Grace. Delete it now." And then, "You're humiliating me." Finally, I replied to her by text. I wrote, "You were happy to try to publicly shame me. If you're feeling ashamed now, it should be because of your behavior and not because I exposed it. Don't do things in the dark that you don't want seen in the light." She didn't respond. Mom called the next day, teary and sniffling, not angry with me, but overwhelmed. I just reassured her by saying things like, "I'm sorry you're upset, Mom. You don't have to be involved in this. This is between me and Kim. It will be all right. It'll be okay. I love you, Mom." When Thanksgiving rolled around, I went to my parents with a small turkey, a crock pot full of make-ahead mashed potatoes, a mason jar of homemade gravy, and a green bean casserole. I also took a store-bought pumpkin pie and a can of whipping cream. It was all very peaceful until I got a notification on my Ring doorbell. Kim and her kids were at my front door. I spoke through the app telling her I wasn't home. She then came to our parents' house. The kids hadn't eaten, and Kim threw a huge tantrum, calling my parents selfish, calling me selfish, telling us how we had excluded her and didn't invite her or the kids. My mom told her that she had been invited, but refused to show up because, and I quote, this is according to my mom, she said, "You need to force Grace to host. If she's going to be a brat and you're going to let her get away with it, I don't want anything to do with you." So, Mom didn't keep pushing. She and I made our small, simple arrangements, and Kim excluded herself because she couldn't handle not having yet another holiday where she got to dump her kids on me or our parents so she could do nothing all day. In past years, she never helped Mom in the kitchen, and she didn't parent her kids. She did nothing. We needed things to change, and she just wouldn't. I don't know what her family did for dinner that night. I feel bad for her kids, and I hope they found some takeout the kids would enjoy. And I hope next year Kim will agree to host, but I don't know what's going to happen. She hasn't taken down any of her ranting about me on Facebook, and I didn't take down my screenshots either. So, I wish my family the best of luck for Christmas. If you enjoyed this reading and want to hear more, please subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Please hit the like button and check out our playlists of family drama stories, Am I the A-hole posts, or Tales of Entitled People. You'll find those lists and many more at our channel. This has been Tales by Rachel, where we breathe life into every story.